president says about the 8 women who have come forward. What he said today when asked what is his message to them. Also tonight, Charlie Rose, fired by CBS News and by PBS. What he said when asked for comment about the alleged wrongdoing. And what his co-anchors said when they opened their show this morning. The urgent nationwide manhunt at this hour, the prisoner who has now escaped a second time, wanted for multiple home invasions and now kidnapping. Dangerous driving with millions traveling today and tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Tonight, the two systems we're now watching on both coasts. Rain, snow, high winds. Ginger Z is standing by. And Made in America is back tonight. The 3 things that could be on your Thanksgiving table. Not the turkey. That would be too easy.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. And tonight, as the national conversation about sexual harassment grows louder, President Trump breaking 12 days of silence on Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. On the White House lawn, answering questions for the first time, defending the candidate who was accused of sexual misconduct with teenagers. The president saying Moore denies it all. And tonight it comes as veteran TV journalist Charlie Rose is fired, his co-host speaking out. We begin with ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega.
Mr. President.
On his way to Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving vacation, today President Trump broke his silence, finally answering questions about Roy Moore.
Mr. President, is an accused child molester better than a Democrat? Is an accused
child
molester
denies it.
better
Look,
than
he
a
denies it. I mean, if you look at what is really going on and you look at all the things that have happened over the last 48 hours, he totally denies it. He says it didn't happen. And, you know, you have to listen to him also. You're talking about, he said 40 years ago this did not happen. So, you know.
The president coming to Moore's defense as the former Alabama judge faces accusations of sexual misconduct by 8 women, some of whom were teenagers at the time.
What is your message to women, sir, during this pivotal moment in our country where we were talking about sexual misconduct? You've had your own allegations against you. What do you say to women?
Let me just tell you. Roy Moore denies it. That's all I can say. He denies it. And by the way, he totally denies it.
And that message to women?
Women are very special. I think it's a very special time because a lot of things are coming out, and I think that's good for our society. And I think it's very, very good for women. And I'm very happy a lot of these things are coming out. And I'm very happy it's being exposed.
The president faces his own accusations of sexual misconduct. More than a dozen women came forward during the campaign, alleging everything from sexual assault to harassment and inappropriate behavior. He called all of them liars and promised to sue, but he never did. Today, the president sent a clear message. Electing an accused child molester would be better than electing a Democrat.
What do you think about his candidacy?
I can tell you one thing for sure. We don't need a liberal person in there, a Democrat. Jones, I've looked at his record. It's terrible in crime. It's terrible in the border. It's terrible in the military. I can tell you for a fact, we do not need somebody that's going to be bad on crime, bad on borders, bad with the military, bad for the Second Amendment.
Cecilia Vega among the reporters asking questions there today. She's with us live from the White House. And Cecilia, President Trump was also asked if he'll go to Alabama to candidate for Roy Moore, campaign I should say, and he didn't rule it out.
He certainly left that door open, David. He said he would get back to us on it next week. But the Roy Moore campaign certainly views the president's comments today as a boost to their campaign, and it did not take long. They have already taken his words about Doug Jones, the Democrat in this race, and turned it into a political hit on their opponent, David.
Cecilia Vega live at the White House tonight. Cecilia, thank you. And we turn next here to Charlie Rose. Tonight, fired by both PBS and by CBS News. Rose responding to a question about his alleged wrongdoing, and you'll hear it. And his co-hosts did not hold back on their program, CBS This Morning, without their co-host by their side this morning. Gayle King and Norah O'Donnell making it clear the alleged behavior will not be tolerated. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
He's out at CBS and out at PBS. He's apologized to his female accusers, but in this new video from TMZ, Charlie Rose doesn't characterize his actions as wrong.
You want to say anything to those accusers, the people that's accusing you of all these wrongdoings?
It's not wrongdoings.
Nearly a dozen women would likely beg to differ, and today Rose's CBS co-host took their side.
It takes a lot of courage for these women to come forward.
In interviews with the Washington Post, former employees of the Charlie Rose Show detail unwanted advances made, they say, by the veteran broadcaster dating back to the early 90s. One describes a job interview at Rose's country home, telling the Post he reached down her pants and she pushed his hands away. As she wept, she said Rose asked her, "Baby, oh baby, why are you crying?" She says she did not get the job. Kyle Godfrey Ryan, the Anchorman's former assistant at his production company, says Rose would repeatedly walk in front of her naked.
She reported this to the show's executive producer, Yvette Vega, and she was told that that's just Charlie being Charlie.
Vega now says, "I failed. It is crushing. I deeply regret not helping them." Today, CBS News fired Rose and released a statement saying their decision followed the revelation yesterday of extremely disturbing and intolerable behavior said to have revolved around his PBS program.
This is a moment that demands a frank and honest assessment about where we stand and, more generally, the safety of women. Let me be very clear. There is no excuse for this alleged behavior.
And from Rose's other co-host, Gayle King,
I have to say, Nora, I really am still reeling. I got an hour and 42 minutes of sleep last night. Both my son and my daughter called me. Oprah called me and said, "Are you okay?" I am not okay. What do you say when someone that you deeply care about has done something that is so horrible? How do you wrap your brain around that? I'm really grappling with that.
But King says Rose must be held accountable.
He doesn't get a pass because I can't stop thinking about the anguish of these women. What happened to their dignity, what happened to their bodies, what happened maybe to even their careers. I can't stop thinking about that and the pain that they're going through.
Rose has apologized to the women while disputing some of their accounts, adding, "I always felt that I was pursuing shared feelings, even though I now realize I was mistaken."
And Lindsay Davis is with us now. And Lindsay, another name in media tonight, this time at our parent company, Disney, now apologizing this evening.
That's right, David. A new day, new allegations. The head of Disney Animation and the co-founder of Pixar, John Lasseter, wrote in a note to his colleagues, "I'm sorry I've let you down," revealing he will take a 6-month leave of absence, citing what he calls missteps. Lasseter wrote, "I've recently had a number of difficult conversations that have been very painful for me. It's been brought to my attention that I have made some of you feel disrespected or uncomfortable. That was never my intent. I especially want to apologize to anyone who has ever been on the receiving end of an unwanted hug or any other gesture they felt crossed the line in any way, shape, or form." Lasseter said, "No matter how benign my intent, everyone has the right to set their own boundaries and have them respected." He added that he will take some time away to reflect on how to move forward from here, saying, "I look forward to working together again in the new year." And tonight, this statement from Disney: "We appreciate John's candor and sincere apology and fully support his sabbatical." David.
All right, Lindsay, our thanks to you again tonight. And Michigan Democrat John Conyers facing an ethics committee investigation tonight. The longest-serving member of Congress reported to have paid more than $27,000 to a woman who claims he fired her for refusing his sexual advances. Conyers acknowledging the settlement but denying her claim. That payment out of his office budget, which is taxpayer money. And tonight, word of a second accusation from an employee filing a complaint of a hostile working environment. That complaint later dropped. The news, of course, coming just 1 week after Congresswoman Jackie Speier said this with the country listening.
In fact, there are 2 members of Congress, Republican and Democrat, right now, who have been subject to review or not have been subject to review, but have engaged in sexual harassment.
Today, Congresswoman Speier's office would not say if she was referring to Conyers there, but Speier did say it does raise questions about how much taxpayers are actually paying for settlements like the one in this report. We do move on tonight. Enter the holiday rush, already underway across this country. More than 50 million Americans expected to take to the roads and the skies for Thanksgiving this year. That's the most in 12 years, and some travelers on both coasts already coping with 2 storm systems. Ginger with the track in a moment. First, David Curley on the airports tonight, already packed.
2 days to that Thanksgiving dinner, and tonight airports are jammed. And your biggest challenge over the next couple of days?
It's just handling the sheer volume of people going through.
Airlines expecting 3% more flyers. That's more than 28 million passengers. And what you don't see behind the scenes is the mad dash to get you on your aircraft. In Charlotte today, we watch cleaners, maintenance workers scrambling, preparing a jet that just arrived to leave.
And everything has to be done in 120 minutes. Otherwise, we don't make our time.
While weather may not be an issue this year, that doesn't mean there aren't problems.
We fly with y'all at 10, and today has been the worst day yet.
We went behind the scenes in Dallas at Southwest Airlines, where a team of 40 watches social media, fixing problems. That passenger was worried about making a connection.
Well, let's see what he says.
He says, oh good, we were really worried about it.
David Curley joins us live along the tarmac in Charlotte, where planes are being moved into position. I can see there for takeoff. Tomorrow's likely going to be busier than today, David, but the biggest headache I'm imagining is Sunday because everybody comes back at once.
Yeah, they kind of pack it all as you see these American Airlines workers continue to trim this aircraft, and aircraft passing us every couple of seconds. So everybody getting out of town is spread over Friday through Wednesday. Busy day tomorrow, but you're right, David. Sunday, everybody wants to come home. It's going to be a very busy day.
All right, safe traveling, and glad you have the vest on there. You can get off the tarmac now. David Curley, our thanks to you. And now to the systems we're watching on both coasts tonight. Lake effect snow in upstate New York causing hazardous driving there and a slow start for some people who headed out early. The Northwest tonight, stormy through Thanksgiving Day. Rain here in the Northeast tomorrow morning. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee tracking it all. Ginger.
We don't have much, but it doesn't take much when you have this volume of people, David, hitting the roads, and that's why we're watching this cold front. So it will create rain. I think it's I-95 corridor. A lot of people are trying to leave tomorrow morning. You're going to run into rain and storms from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia. The good news is it clears right out quickly, so even Boston will clear by the afternoon. Holiday travel-wise, on Wednesday, there are a couple of other areas to watch. There's a stationary front in Florida. Showers up to 5 inches in the Pacific Northwest, and record heat Los Angeles to Phoenix, all before it really feels like Thanksgiving right here with wind chills sub-freezing to Durham, North Carolina.
All right. Bundle up with family and loved ones. Ginger, thank you. Overseas and from Russia tonight, Syrian President Bashar Assad paying a visit to thank Vladimir Putin. Russia's military has backed up Assad in his long civil war. And tonight comes word, the White House reporting that Putin then spoke with President Trump on the phone for more than an hour today. Syria, they say, was a key topic of their conversation. Back here at home, the FBI now revealing new details tonight in that investigation into an incident involving 2 Border Patrol agents in South Texas. One of those agents has died, the other in critical condition. ABC's Marcus Moore in El Paso.
New details emerging tonight in the mysterious death of Border Protection Agent Rogelio Martinez.
This is the most important investigation in the El Paso division of the FBI.
Sources now confirming to ABC News that Martinez and his partner were found at the bottom of a 14-foot ravine 30 miles from the Mexican border, and that his partner, who survived, doesn't remember what happened. The FBI says both men suffered traumatic head injuries, but still unable to say if it was an attack or an accident. This is the type of terrain these agents traverse as they work along the border here, and you can see how barren the land is, and there's also drop-offs, and consider just how treacherous this could be at night. Hours after the news broke, President Trump tweeting Border Patrol officer killed. We will and must build the wall. The president has been among those who have said that he described it as a brutal attack. Is he correct?
I have not briefed the president.
David, the area where Martinez and his partner were found is still a crime scene tonight as investigators search the rugged hills of the U.S.-Mexico border for answers. David.
Marcus, thank you. And from overseas tonight, the end of a very long era in Zimbabwe. President Robert Mugabe has now resigned after 37 years in power. Celebrations erupting in the streets. The 93-year-old Mugabe had ruled Zimbabwe since independence, but with an increasingly ruthless hand. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Tuesday. The urgent nationwide manhunt at this hour. The prisoner who has now escaped a second time, wanted for multiple home invasions and now kidnapping tonight. There's also news this evening about who hacked HBO and Game of Thrones. Authorities with a suspect. And your money tonight, Black Friday almost here. They say one of the best days to buy a new car, saving you thousands of dollars. But the experts with tips tonight, what you should do before you show up on the lot Friday.
He's a NASCAR champion who's faced thousands of drivers. She's a world-class swimmer who stared down the best in her sport. But for both of them, the most challenging opponent was
PE blood clots in my lung. It was really scary.
A DVT in my leg.
I had to learn all I could to help protect myself.
My doctor and I chose Xarelto.
Xarelto, to help keep me protected.
Xarelto is a latest generation blood thinner that's proven to treat and reduce the risk of DVT and PE blood clots from happening again. In clinical studies, almost 98% of patients on Xarelto did